All right, so picture this. You finally made it. You're on that dream trip to Bali, right? But instead of, actually enjoying the beach, you're stuck to your phone like it's an extension of your hand,
Hmm.
juggling like 5 different apps just to manage your crypto.
Yeah.
Sound familiar at all?
Oh, absolutely. It's a struggle so many digital nomads for them. I mean, managing your digital life across a dozen different apps constantly,
Hmm.
it's like the work part of work from anywhere never leaves you alone, especially for crypto enthusiasts.
Ugh, it's the worst. I remember this one time in Bali, I was at this amazing cafe, incredible coffee, like best coffee I've ever had. But I spent half the time stressing over VPNs and swapping between trading platforms, price trackers, Telegram groups. Like I barely even looked up from my phone.
And that's exactly the problem that Pulse Network is trying to solve.
Go for it.
Imagine having your crypto finances, your social networking trading tools, even earning opportunities all in one place. Think of it like your digital HQ,
Yeah.
designed specifically for the way digital nomads work and travel.
Okay, so no more app overload on shaky cafe wifey. I mean, that's already a win in my book. But how does Pulse Network actually work? What makes it different from, say, just using another trading app?
So it's way more than just trading Polstery. Polster is trying to build this whole ecosystem. For example, they've partnered with some really established names like Binance and Uniswap, so you can trade directly on those platforms, but within the Pulse Network interface.
Hmm. So it's streamlining the trading process for sure, but what about the social aspect? Being a digital nomad can get lonely. Are there ways to actually connect with people on Pulse Network?
Yeah, that's where things get really interesting. They've built in live chat rooms, but also, and this is brilliant, location-based community groups.
Oh, wow.
So if you're in Bali, you can actually see other Pulse Network users in your area.
Wow, that's amazing. I wish I had that during my Bali trip. I met a few other digital nomads, so we were all struggling with the same, like, app juggling act.
Yeah.
This would have been a game changer.
Exactly. And it's not just about connecting with other nomads. Pulse Network really emphasizes sharing knowledge and insights, particularly about trading. They've integrated this really unique cast feature for this.
Cast, is that like posting your thoughts or trading strategies? So instead of like spamming Twitter, you cast it on Pulse
You
Network?
got it. But here's the cool part. Other users can actually tip your casts with Pulse Allowance, that's their native token, if they find your insights valuable.
Wait, so I could earn crypto just by sharing my trading thoughts while I travel? Talk about making your travel fund work for you.
And that's just one way to earn on Pulse Network. They have a whole system designed to reward active and engaged community members.
Okay, this is already sounding way better than my multi-app nightmare in Bali.
Okay.
But what about security? As travelers, we're often on public Wi-Fi. Isn't that a huge risk when you're dealing with crypto?
Yeah, that's a really important point, and it's something that Pulse Network takes really seriously, especially for travelers who are often using public networks. They've incorporated a bunch of security features. But one of the most interesting, I think, is their decentralized moderation system.
Decentralized moderation.
Huh.
Okay, that sounds intriguing, but you're going to have to give me the ELI 5 version of that. How does that keep my crypto safe?
Imagine it like a neighborhood watch, but for the digital world. So instead of relying solely on a central authority, Pulse Network incentivizes the entire community to watch out for each other, flag suspicious activity, and ultimately maintain a safe environment.
So it's like having a global network of friends looking out for you, even when you're hopping between islands and wifey networks. I like that.
Exactly. And speaking of having a digital identity that travels with you, they have this really cool feature called the Pulse Soul Pass, or PSP.
Oh, yeah. I've heard whispers about this. What's the deal with the PSP? Is it like a digital passport for crypto nomads?
That's a great way to put it. It's a non-transferable token that acts as your persistent identity within the Pulse Network ecosystem. So no matter where you go, your profile, your reputation, everything you built in the platform travels with you.
That's huge. No more starting from scratch. Every time you land in a new country,
Yeah.
it's like having a digital home base that goes wherever you go. Are there any other perks to having this PSP?
Absolutely. For starters, it unlocks daily rewards through the Pulse Allowance system, but it also gives you access to exclusive communities and features within Pulse Network.
So it's like having VIP access to the best parts of the platform, but it's not just about exclusivity, right? It encourages everyone to be active and contribute to the community, which is crucial for a platform like this to really thrive.
Precisely. And this brings us back to their whole ethos of empowering users. Remember,
Okay.
we talked about how Pulse Network leverages Polygon CDK Validium for those fast and cheap transactions.
Yeah, that was the no more lag on sketchy wifey thing, right? As a traveler, that's a huge deal.
Yeah, right. But it also plays into their decentralized approach. Pulse Group owners can actually stake a certain amount of policy, that's their native token, and their community can stake on their node too.
Hold on, break that down for me. What does that actually mean for the average user, someone like me who's just trying to navigate the crypto world while traveling the world?
Essentially, the more engaged and active a community is, the more they can earn through staking. It incentivizes not just individual participation, but also the growth of strong, active communities on the platform.
Okay, so it's like a win-win. Active communities attract more users, and everyone benefits from the increased staking rewards.
Huh.
It's like they've gamified the whole process of building a thriving online community, which is pretty cool when you think about it.
Yeah, it's really clever, and it all ties back to their vision of building this more equitable and user-centric platform. And speaking of incentives, we should talk about Pelosi itself. You asked about earning crypto while traveling, and this is where it gets interesting.
Okay, hit me with the tokenomics. What makes PLSE more than just another meme coin? What's its real utility within the Pulse Network ecosystem?
It's definitely not just a meme coin. It's designed to be the lifeblood of the platform. We already talked about tipping casts with PLSE, right? But that's just the beginning.
So what else can you do with it besides, the whole buy low, sell high thing?
Well, for starters, it's used to pay for transaction fees on the network, much like gas fees on Ethereum. This ensures that the platform can operate smoothly and securely, but it goes beyond that. They're also incorporating PLC into their governance model.
Governance. So as a PLSE holder, I'd actually have a say in the future direction of Pulse Network.
Exactly. You can actually vote on proposals that impact the platform's development, from new features to partnerships to how the treasury is managed. It's about giving the power back to the users.
I love that it's not just about using a platform. It's about being part of a community that's actively shaping its own future, especially for digital nomads who are often early adopters of new technologies. That kind of ownership can be really powerful.
Absolutely. And it speaks to the broader potential of what Pulse Network is building. This isn't just another trading app. It's a new way for location-independent individuals to connect, collaborate, and create value for each other.
It really makes you think, if you can decentralize social connection and financial opportunities like this, what else is possible? Imagine a world where the tools and resources you need to thrive as a digital nomad are no longer tied to a specific location or company, but accessible from anywhere in the world.
And not just accessible, but owned and governed by the very community that benefits from them. It's an exciting vision, and it's one that Pulse Network is actively working towards.
I have to say, I'm seriously impressed with what I've learned about Pulse Network today. It's like they took all the pain points of being a crypto-loving digital nomad, the app overloads, the security worries, the feeling of isolation, and said, we can solve that.
And they're doing it with a focus on community transparency and user empowerment, which is refreshing to see in the often chaotic world of crypto.
Well said. Now for our listeners who are ready to ditch their mountain of apps and check out Pulse Network for themselves, where should they go?
Yeah, head over to their website, pulse.social. They have tons of information about the platform, its features, and its roadmap for the future. And of course, you can download the app and start exploring the community.
I have a feeling this is just the beginning for Pulse Network. As more people embrace the digital nomad lifestyle, the need for platforms like this will only continue to grow.
Absolutely. It's a fascinating space to watch, and Pulse Network is definitely a pioneer to keep an eye on.
Well, on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive into Pulse Network. We hope you found this exploration as insightful and inspiring as we did. Remember, managing your digital life while traveling doesn't have to be a juggling act.
Here's to seamless connection and limitless opportunity no matter where your journey takes you.
Until next time, happy travels, everyone.